Yep, LTD, living the dream. Check out that view behind. I don't know if you can make out the tiny sort of slither of road behind. There's a tiny little bit there. That is the Llanberis Pass. And yep, I'm back in Snowdonia. It's been a whole month since I've been here. So I thought that's way too long. So yeah, I thought I had to come back and revisit. And I've come to a spot actually that I've not been to for a long, long time. I'm actually, as you probably worked out from the title, I am on the lower slopes of Mount Snowdon. But yeah, I'm not on the side that most of the tourists visit. I'm on the I suppose you would call it the secret side. And I'm finding out pretty early on why this area is pretty rarely visited. There are hardly any footpaths. In fact, I'm just following sort of faint sort of trails at the moment. And I've seen about 3 people. Absolutely amazing, because the main trails would be really, really busy, even at this sort of time. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. You're not going to hear me moaning about this, even if I do end up being really, really out of breath. I don't care. This is it's great for the soul, the spirit, and of course the lungs and the heart as well. But I've got something pretty cool to show you in a little bit. I reckon it's supposed to get a bit steeper in a little bit. So when I am properly blowing out of my bottom, that'll be a good time to stop and show you it. Right, I'll catch up with you in a bit. Well, as lovely as my blue eyes are, I'm sure you'd agree that scenery behind more than tops it. Don't worry, I'll keep myself at this sort of distance for the rest of this video. You won't see me that close up again, hopefully for a while. Anyway, I've stopped to get my breath back and to show you, well, to reveal this little treat I was talking about right at the start of the climb. So for this bit, I think I'm going to need to back up a little bit and cue the music. So let's do it. Right, I reckon that's enough music, because I think you'll agree this is a cracking jumper. You can't get much better than this, and much more patriotic when you are in Wales. I'm sure we'd all agree with that. Got to thank my dad for this jumper. You know, he got it for me for my birthday back a couple of months ago. Only wear it when I'm out in Wales, and in fact a few locals have spotted me wearing it, and they love it as well. I mean, who could blame them? But I do think they're a little bit disappointed when they hear my London twang and realise that I'm not a local. But it doesn't matter. You know, I'm sure you'd agree with scenery like this. You know, how could you not love it? But anyway, that waterfall you can probably see behind me, sort of just there, that is where I'm heading for. In fact, I've got to get to the top of that. So I know I mentioned about it getting steeper. That, in fact, shows it. So I'm hoping with that music and with this jumper, even with that massive pack on my back, I'm going to make fairly light work of it. I've got about an hour of daylight left, so I reckon I need to stop yapping and keep climbing. Let's keep cracking on. Oh, I don't want you to see my face for this bit, because, how do I put it? It is not pretty. It's not massively pretty at the best of times, but especially at the moment. But you know what? I might be knackered, as you can hear, but I am absolutely loving this. Oh, you can see it's still pretty steep. I guess the camera probably never does it justice. But yeah, trust me, this feels like a 1 in 2, or like a 50% incline. Woo. But so far so good, and I'm in pretty high spirits, because, I don't know if I just stop for a minute, let my heart sort of slow a little bit. Top of that, I reckon the other side of that will be my destination, the little lake. The GPS arrow shows that I'm heading exactly the right direction, so pretty pleased about that. So I reckon, I keep saying this, I think I said in the last bit that the next time you see me, I'll be at the top. Oh, but yeah, next time you hear from me, there'll be no more funny noises, and I promise you, there'll be a better view. Right, Last bit. Oh, yes, I have made it. Now that is a pretty fine view behind, isn't it? But I tell you what, I am absolutely, it's not very often, I'm sort of, I don't know, my breath's taken away with what I can see. But the view in front of me right now is absolutely, it's stunning. Worth every single step. So I'm going to stop the talking and I'm going to let the views and the music do the talking instead. Check this out. Well, I'm glad I made it across my little stepping stones here without dunking my feet in the drink. But even if I had done and I had wet feet, I still wouldn't mind. Because I mean, I know you've already seen it, but I'm completely lost for words. It is not very often you get your own little private island in one of the most popular areas of Snowdonia and have it to yourself. To be honest, I was expecting to have a tent on here already. You know, it is a Saturday night. I know it's the beginning of March, and you can see from the snow up there that it's hardly sort of bathing weather, but still, you know, it's a really popular area, and it's a Saturday. So it just goes to show that you can head to this part of the national park, you know, at the weekend and still pretty much have it to yourself. There is a guy, I don't know if you can make him out over there. There is a guy, looks like he's going to be wild camping as well. I'm just really, really lucky that he didn't take this island. But it's just incredible as well how still it is. It's one of the reasons why I came up this weekend, just because I knew it was going to be like this. You know, we've got high pressure, hardly any wind. Let's just hope it stays like that. But I think as much as I just want to sort of drink in the views and where I am, I think I need to get this tent up and then we can relax after that with a beer. Let's go. Well, there you go. Tent all up. And I've got to say, that was one of my easiest pitches as well. You know, hardly a breath of wind, and it's pretty much pan flat and no rocks at all, which my recent camps, that is a bit of luxury. Normally I'm fighting rocks, trying to get the pegs in. Just makes it so much easier. And now, yeah, I've just taken a bit of, it doesn't take long to explore this little island. But yeah, I've noticed, obviously, there's been a few campers here before, and you can sort of notice sort of the scars on the land a little bit down there. And if I come over here, yeah, you can't help but notice that someone's had a bit of a fire. Don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I know some of you will say that you come out somewhere like this and a campfire just finishes it off. But I don't know, you know, it's not, for me, I don't particularly fancy leaving something like this behind. You know, there's that old motto, isn't there? LNT, leave no trace. And I believe that's what you should do when you are camping. But if I just come out and just show you a sec, I think you might have clocked sort of the camper before. So if I just zoom in, you probably notice there's his tent. He's got a pretty good pitch there. But if I come up, I'm sure you can notice those couple of dots sort of on the top of that sort of that hill there. That looks like an amazing spot for a camp. Cracking views. You know, there's not much daylight left. No idea if anybody else is going to turn up. But I reckon I can make do with this. It's not too crowded, is it? Final job now, though, is to go and get some water. You know, I was going to get it from the lake, but I don't know, I can hear some running water on the far side of the lake, so I reckon I'm going to go around there. Probably be a little bit safer. Oh, keep saying it. What a stunning place this is. Wow. Right, water and then chill. Let's go and do it. Well, the moment I've been looking forward to, it's time for dinner. And yeah, my food tonight, actually, I've had this one before, so I know it's going to be delicious before I even open it. It is the chili con carne by an outfit called Firepot. I really recommend their meals, actually. They're really, really nice. This one's got a good bit of spice to it, loads of flavour, plenty of food as well. And the great thing as well, actually, is this one it's got 600 calories in it. So, I mean, I can't really say I've done enough hiking to earn that today. But, you know, if you're doing like a multi-day hike, which I'm planning to do, actually, in a month or so's time, then these sorts of meals will come in really, really handy because you get plenty of energy and they're nice and light to carry as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, we can't come up here without some alcohol as well. I've already cracked this one open, but I haven't tasted it yet. But it's a beer I've never had before. For the outfit that make it, they deserve, well, they certainly get the Pun of the Year award. It's Brew York is the brewery, apparently. And yeah, it says Vocation Special Edition, Sweet Temptation, Chocolate Caramel Stout. Does sound quite nice. And the best thing about this is its alcohol content, 6.6%. Whew, that's going to warm me up, hopefully, and blow the old socks off. So let's give this one a try. Cheers. Oh, that's really, really nice, actually. I do love a stout, whether it's Guinness or something like this. So there's some alcohol. Let's get some food on the go as well. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, yes. Certainly end this again. There's only so much of me eating. Like I always say this, but there's only so much of me eating that you can watch. So I'll come back when I get onto my next course, which will be, of course, be dessert. So dinner has been enjoyed, and I must apologise. I couldn't wait for you. I've already started dessert. Luxury tonight, it is a chocolate donut followed by a Snickers bar. Yep, I'm filling my face, being a bit greedy, but I'm taking a leaf out of the old Top Gear boys. The old episode where they sort of headed across the Arctic in their 4x4 and still ate as if they were on a full-on expedition. So yeah, I'm going to do the same. Even though it was only like an hour's walk, I don't care. I do love my food too much. So I'm going to enjoy that. This beer is just going down so well as well. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I think actually I've got a really good book to enjoy as well. But I will before I wrap it up for the evening, I will say actually just an apology for those that watch my other videos. I did say on my previous camp that I was going to be heading sort of up to Scotland and I was going to do some bothying and some camping up there. I did go to Scotland, but the trip ended up being a little bit different to what I originally planned. I ended up going with my dad. You know, he's in his early 60s and he'd never been to Scotland. And yeah, I went last year and I think I told him about the stories and he'd already wanted to go. And yeah, he was absolutely blown away by the scenery. But I didn't want to subject him to wild camping in February. So instead, we enjoyed the luxury of a Premier Inn. So it was a full English every morning and then out enjoying the views. It was a cracking few days. And yeah, I hope to go back at Easter where I'll sort of do what I'd originally planned, which is to head to the Knoydart Peninsula, the last wilderness of Scotland, they call it. So can't wait for that. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to leave it there because I just want to chill, to just sit back now and just enjoy the peace, the quiet, and yeah, and the whole experience. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here, isn't it? So thanks for watching so far, and I guess I shall see you in the morning. Night night. Well, good morning, campers. I tell you what, a cracking night's sleep I got last night. Apart from waking up once to go to the loo, as I always have to these days, I slept all the way through. Must have been a good solid 9 hours or so. And again, I think it got down to about -2 last night, according to my thermometer, but didn't feel the cold at all with that thermal mat that I've got and my sleeping bag. Amazing. Now, if you want to see a review that I did of those, I'll put the link below in this video, and you can sort of see my winter kit list. kept me really, really comfortable. You can probably see there's been a little splattering of snow overnight. Nothing too bad. So I don't think the crampons will be needed going down. I tell you, sitting here, it's hard to believe that actually this time tomorrow, it'll be Monday morning and it'll be back to work again. It feels a million miles away at the moment. As I just sit here, I've got a bit of porridge. I've got some beans and some nice crusty bread to lap it up. And of course, you can't start the day without a coffee. I'm in no hurry away. I mean, it's an 8-hour round trip for me to come here, but views like that, it's so worth it. So I think the next you'll see of me, actually, I'll pack away, and then I'll show you some of the views from. Because I walked over. It was a bit late last night by the time I got over there, but there were some amazing views actually from this spot. So I'll show you that after. Well, here we go. It is just before 10, and as you can see, I'm all packed and ready for the off. Bit later than I originally planned, but it's such a beautiful spot. It'd be almost rude to leave early, wouldn't it? The other campers they've long since gone. In fact, the first guy, he'd gone by 7 when I actually got out of the tent, so he made a very, very early getaway. But as you can see, the weather conditions have changed quite a bit. There's a few flakes of snow in the air. It is pretty cold. And in fact, the next week, sort of in the whole of England, is meant to be like quite snowy. So who knows where I might be next weekend. Gonna have to make the most of the last sort of wintry blast. But there you go. As you can see, other than those 2 little slithers of snow where the snow sort of slid off the side of my tent, there's no other evidence that I was here. Leave no trace. That is what we've got to do. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the video as much as I've enjoyed this little slice of paradise, albeit a pretty cold one. If you have, don't forget to click like and subscribe. And in fact, actually, this is the end of this video. I'll finish it up there. But actually, before I head back to the car, I'm going to take a bit of a detour. Up behind me there in the clouds, there is another lake. So I'm going to head up there, about another sort of 200-300 feet higher. And then there's an amazing sort of I call it the infinity pool of Snowdonia. I stumbled across that by accident on the way up. So I'm going to sort of show you that as well on the way back. But I'll do that in a separate video because this has got long enough already. All right, guys. Speak to you soon. And once again, take care. Adios.